This is COP27, but in many ways, each COP has been important and different in its own way. And so this is a really crucial one because what we're seeing is in the latest reports from the UN, we are way, way off track. This was from Johann Rockström, head of the Potsdam Institute in Germany, and he says it's a really bleak moment, not only because of the report showing our emissions are still rising, but we also have so much scientific evidence that we're very, very close to irreversible changes. Now, I know Johann a bit, and that's very, very strong language from him. But the other part of this is that this is in Africa. So it's not just about getting the developed countries on board with this, it's about coming round the developing countries. Because all the growth in populations, economy, and emissions over coming decades is going to be from Africa. So to make sure that those countries are fully playing their roles in reducing emissions as they grow, but also being very resilient to climate change. So that's kind of the double focus of COP this year, both on developed and developing countries. Now, each COP has its own president, a country chosen to be leading the negotiations. This year it's Egypt. And that's again really important because that is a developing country, but it's also one with a pretty strong diplomatic core and feels that it very much speaks for all of Africa. And of course, no president does it on its own. And indeed, the UK, as the president of COP26, made it very clear that it wants to be right alongside Egypt in this. And indeed, other countries are expressing the same support. But it's very challenging for Egypt because it is an authoritarian regime as a country, and it looks as though it's making it a bit difficult for some NGOs to get to this COP. It's an enormous challenge and a huge responsibility for Egypt, coming from where it's at in terms of its own political culture and system.